to bring you in. So could this dynastic rule a little bit be broken at the next elections, consider this controversy and others? Does Imran Khan, the sort of populist, we're used to populists a little bit around the world at the moment, have a window of opportunity here?
He certainly has a window of opportunity, and you know, the usual history in Pakistan has been when parties in power suffer setbacks like this through a kind of intervention by the army or the courts, then that sends out a message that the permanent establishment is not interested in their return, and that sends out a kind of a ripple effect within the parties. They start breaking away. There are forward blocks created, and in Mr. Sharif's party, it remains to be seen what happens in the next 6 months. As was mentioned earlier, that there will be a trial, and within 6 months we'll find out whether Sharif and his family are convicted or they are let or they go scot-free. But in that whole situation of pressure and uncertainty, the ruling party may suffer some kind of setback, and there may be people defecting to Imran Khan's party. But it's all speculative. We can't really say for sure. But on a larger question of dynastic politics and political parties, look, the facts are very clear. Half of Pakistan turns 70 this month. Half of Pakistan's life has been ruled directly by the military. The other half has been controlled democracy. In a context of a controlled democracy where you have interventions like these, political parties do not evolve organically like they do in other democratic polities. And Pakistan's democracy needs time, uninterrupted elections, and full civilian authority for that to happen, for reforms to take place. Already there have been many reforms in the last 1 decade of democracy after Musharraf, and I think the process showed a lot of promise, and I hope that this process continues, as Mustafa says, and we'll see further changes.
Mustafa Sayed, obviously the region's watching this very closely, and investors in Pakistan. You're on the China-Pakistan investment there. What is the region worried about, and can you reassure people from the outside that this won't add to instability in Pakistan, or do you think it will?
Yeah, firstly, if I can just respond to what was earlier said, I think we need to view this in a different paradigm. I think it's all too easy to attack and do military bashing of Pakistan every single time when any change happens. I remember when September 11th happened, there was a T-shirt which was very popular. It said, "Anything I do, blame it on Al-Qaeda." So they reminded me of this T-shirt because anything that happens in Pakistan, there are some segments which always point fingers towards the military. I think it should be seen as a very positive change, because 10 years ago, Anand, you could not imagine for a prime minister in office to be held accountable and to be investigated. So I think it shows that our institutions have evolved, they have come of age, whether it's the media, where Raza Rumi has been playing a very important and positive role in the past, or there are other institutions like the parliament, where the parliament decided whether the role of Pakistan in the war in Yemen should be or should not be, should Pakistan participate or not.
Yeah.
So you can see that we have evolved, and as far as the region is concerned and CPEC is concerned, the
China-Pakistan Economic Corridor,
this magnitude of $46 billion, as you know, is till 2030. So it is not linked with any one particular party or any one particular government. And that was also demonstrated in the Belt and Road Forum, which was held in May of this year, where all chief ministers, all 4 chief ministers accompanied the Prime Minister, Mr. Nawaz Sharif at the time, to the Belt and Road Forum, and also the CPEC Joint Coordination Committee meeting, which was held in December 2016 in Beijing, where all the 4 provinces were represented along with the Prime Minister, along with the Federal Cabinet in Beijing, and all the political parties of those different provinces, whether it's the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf or whether it's the Pakistan People's Party, were there. So I think when it comes to projects like CPEC and other important projects of national interest, all the political parties do seem to be in unison and in harmony, and have, at least of late, put politics aside. So I think that the message of continuity, the message of taking such developments and such projects at the same pace with priority, it remains, and the change in government or change in Prime Minister will not affect the progress or relationship of Pakistan with its partners.
Thank you. Ambassador Haqqani, you wanted to pick up on the military point.
Quick response. Mustafa betrays his youth when he says that no prime minister has ever been investigated, etc. We actually hanged a prime minister after alleging his involvement in murder, and that too was a case that was eventually decided in the Supreme Court. We have sent several prime ministers to investigations throughout Pakistani history, going back all the way to 1953.
A lot of history in 70 years.
Well, a lot of history in 70 years. That said, and people accept the outcome because there is no choice. What is the choice? Should the people come out in the streets and protest against the Supreme Court, disturbing whatever little rule of law the country already has? The fact still remains that Pakistan's politics is not played by the same rules as politics is played in the rest of the world, both by the political parties and by the establishment.
Which includes the military.
Which includes the military, which is basically the military is the mainstay. Now let's come to the point of what effect it might have on the investment climate in the country. CPEC is not going to be affected. China has made a long-term commitment to Pakistan. It has made a long-term bet on Pakistan. It's a strategic decision. It's not just a business decision. CPEC's downside is that Pakistan will end up being heavily indebted to China with a huge sort of loan portfolio that will be controlled by China. Which will have ramifications for other things. There is across-the-board agreement in Pakistan. I'm one of the minority from Pakistan who questions that. Other investment will be affected. There is a reason why Pakistani businessmen and the richest of the rich keep lots of money abroad. And the reason is because it only shows uncertainty, uncertainty in decision making. And that will definitely affect. For example, the stock market did not take this decision very well, although it has recovered a little bit. But there will be medium to small investors who will be affected by all of this. And the overall feeling of turmoil, the word turmoil being used in relation to Pakistan, is not good for Pakistan. If Pakistan can move more in the direction of being a normal parliamentary democracy, that will really be good for Pakistan.
Mustafa Sayed, you wanted to respond just quickly to Ambassador Haqqani on the debt situation?
Yeah. I just wanted to say that of the $46 billion of CPEC, $35 billion are energy investments on build, operate, and transfer basis, in which the borrower is the Chinese company. So the government of Pakistan, let me just make it clear for the record, is not borrowing any debt from the government of China. It's the Chinese corporations which are investing in Pakistan who are the borrowers, who are bringing the debt financing and supplementing the investments with equity investments. So this perception that there's a huge debt issue which will haunt Pakistan in the years to come is misplaced.
One final word from Shuja Nawaz on the future of Pakistan. Now we've seen this political turmoil, and do you see it as a good thing or a bad thing, short and long term?
Well, turmoil is never a good thing, whether it's the United States or Pakistan, because it doesn't allow domestic investment, long-term investment, or foreign investment. However, I want to pick up on something that Raza Rumi said, which was looking to the elections next year. When the elections take place, and they will, I think it'll be very critical that they be held on the basis of the new census of Pakistan, because that will change the political map of Pakistan. It will alter the shape of the current political parties. It shift the political power from the countryside and the feudals to the cities and to the youth who are inhabiting these mega cities of Pakistan. So I'm looking to that as a watershed moment in Pakistan's political history.
Well, Thank you so much. The world will be watching, of course, an even more important election given recent developments. From here in Washington, D.C. and from Islamabad and New York, I want to thank our panel. That's all we have time for, but remember, the conversation does continue online. Chat with us about this or any other show on Twitter. We're at CGTN America, or visit us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/CGTN America. I'm Nathan King in Washington, D.C. Thanks so much for being with us.